this lady has been married for over 19 years, Alhamdulillah. And then they met through friends, and three of their best attributes is that he is kind, quiet, and loves God. And what was the reason you agreed to marry them? She said, I enjoy being around him. I love that. There's nothing more to say about that. And what are those qualities they possess that frustrates you? If there's like an argument between them, that they end up not communicating for a while, even though they are in the house together. So that frustrates her. And then how do you manage the shortcomings in the marriage? This sister says that she ignores when this happens. And I feel like, if that works for your marriage, you've been married for 19 years, keep doing it. Maybe, especially because according to what you've written, he is the one who starts off by not wanting to talk when there's a disagreement between you. So maybe if you ignore, maybe that works for your marriage, and you've been married for 19 years, keep doing what you've been doing, or maybe seek other ways of trying to resolve the issue. And then, what are the qualities that they possess that you did not realize the value of in the early days, but has been a blessing? And she hasn't got anything written down here because I'm guessing she doesn't know. Moving on to the next set of responses. She has been married for 10 years and they met at her cousin's wedding. The three of their best attributes. Her husband is ambitious, he's good looking, and is highly intelligent. What was the reason you agreed or decided to marry him? Their goals and visions aligned. He is very supportive of her dreams and aspirations. I love that. And what are those qualities they possess that frustrates you? Struggling to balance between work and home. He spends more time on work than at home. And I get that. It can't be easy for, when that happens maybe too often. And then how do you manage his shortcomings in the marriage? They communicate, and if it's something she can tolerate, then that's good enough for her. And then what is what is or are those qualities he possesses that you did not realize the value of in the early days, or has been a blessing to your marriage several years later? And she said that he's a good planner and he has good eyes for details. So let's move on to the next set of responses. This sister has been married for 17 years. And how did you meet your husband? They met on social media. So, yes, for those young ones who think they are the only ones who have to meet their spouses on social media, it has been happening even in the Nigerian community for over 17 years. And then, what are three of their best attributes? She said her husband is patient, he is supportive, and he is understanding. And what was the reason you decided to marry him? He is very confident and assertive. She loves that about her husband. And what are those qualities they possess that frustrates you? Her husband is not very open to deep communication. That is not a good thing if you are somebody who likes deep communication. So good luck how you managing it. And how do you manage his shortcomings? I focus on the good qualities. So she focuses on the good qualities. And this is a hack not many of us think of. So I think what I'm going to do a separate post about focusing on the good qualities of your husband or wife, or of your spouse. And what are those qualities they possess that you did not realize the value of in the early days, but now you are benefiting, several years later in your marriage? He's very good with home chores. So that is a blessing to her marriage. So I'm happy for both of you. So may Allah continue to keep you both in good health, love. Well, not just you and your husband, but all the other sisters that have read their posts so far. This lady has been married for 14 years. She met her husband during the National Youth Service Corps in Nigeria. So this is a program that is done. It's a compulsory program by every graduate after. So everyone after their graduation in Nigeria, they have to do this 1 year corps service. So you may people from different university from across the country, they get scattered to different locations around the country. So you will be serving with somebody who you never dreamt of ever meeting. So what are three of their best attributes? A husband's kind, is very helpful, and he is a provider. And what is the reason that you agreed or decided to marry them? Uh, the reason she agreed to marry her husband, she wrote kindness 3 times. And she hasn't overemphasized. Like, I know for a fact, I've heard it from so many sources, I've read it from so many sources, I've seen it on so many programs. Kindness in a man is not overrated. So please, if you are yet to marry anyone, please hear me when I say this. Make sure he is kind hearted. Knowing what I know now, I would not recommend anyone to even consider marrying a man who is not kind. So, I mean, again, let's be honest. Everyone needs kindness. So, even women need to be kind, and we all deserve kindness. But I feel like kindness is the bedrock of every marriage, and we must remember that. What are those qualities they possess that frustrates you? Sometimes he puts the needs of others before himself, and that he can be stubborn sometimes. How do you manage your husband's shortcomings in your marriage? Sometimes she looks away since his good parts overshadows those shortcomings, and then they also discuss it. Then one thing that she didn't realize at the start of their togetherness, that would be a value to her marriage years later, is his helpfulness. So I think that is really amazing. Other person has responded that they have been married for 14 years also, and they met at the university. They started out as friends. The younger sister is somebody who was a bunkmate of theirs at university. Her husband has his three best attributes. He is caring, he's honest, and calm. What was the reason you decided to agree to marry them? Aside that I love him, but his mom made me decide. His mom was every woman's wish to have as a mother in law. She took me like a daughter, although she's late now, but I'm always happy our path crossed. So I am happy for you about that as well. And, it's so good to have to trust your instincts sometimes, you know, even though, yes, like I said, you did love him at the start, you still would have chosen to marry him. But, meeting his mother and her being a good woman sealed it for you. I'm sure what you're trying to say, maybe what you're trying to say is that had you met his mom before you agreed to marry him and you realized, and maybe she was a terrible mother, you may have decided not to marry him. So also, regardless of, we want good and kind men to be married to, but also what is important that is that women need to learn how to be good mothers or mothers-in-law to their prospective daughters-in-law. I just thought that is a really lovely thing that she wrote about there. And what are those qualities that possess that frustrates you? He is not, so he doesn't buy her gifts as much because that's not his way of expressing love. He would send money to her, he would give her some money, but not actually buy the gifts, which she obviously prefers to buy the gifts. So, yeah, I understand that's what she's trying to say there. And he doesn't help out with house chores. And then how do you manage their shortcomings? I have learned to live with it and don't make issue out of it. Again, this is a clear case of, the husband having other really good qualities that they love and can live with. And then what are those qualities they possess that you did not realize the value of in the early days, but has been a blessing to your union since? His calmness and fondness of me and the kids. He loves to see me grow and believes in me. A man that doesn't buy you gifts, but is calm and is fond of you and his children, he cares for you, he loves to see you grow, and he believes in you as a person. I really, I get it. He's not a gift buying person, and he doesn't do house chores. They are not the be all and end all. You can survive without those, and these other qualities of his that he has. I love that for you, my sister. So yeah, I love that you shared that with us. Thank you very much. I hope you have enjoyed the responses I've read so far and you have learned one or two things. I'll end it here for now, and then I hope to come back and read the rest, the responses. Thank you very much for watching this far. I'll see you next time. Thank you.